You saw the title. You know that this one is going to hit close to home. Villain number 24 on the Villains Countdown of October is Cassius from Julius Caesar. I've said time and time again that I don't really think that Cassius is a villain, and that's true. A lot of characters on this Villains Countdown are actually villainous characters, but not villains per se, and that will actually persist until fairly high on the countdown. The presence of characters who are villainous and do villainous things, but are not in fact designated the villain of their piece. So I will explain both what Cassius does that is villainous, and why I think he is not the villain of this play. Cassius is a political character, and there are many characters in Shakespeare who end up at political odds with others, often with catastrophic and even lethal results. However, that doesn't mean that any one of them is the bad guy. It just means there are two groups and they are ready, willing, and able to fight it out. There will be casualties of this, but no one is really the worse for wanting this, since there are two sides and everyone is willing to in fact go in and have the fight. So how does Cassius distinguish himself as in fact someone who may not be above reproach? Well, that boils down to what he says after he convinces Brutus in the first scene to join the anti-Caesar cause. Cassius admits that he isn't winning Brutus over with his actual arguments and reason, and he's saying, such an argument wouldn't win me, and I don't understand how Brutus, such a good person, is falling for this. He admits that he's lying. It's not just that he hates Caesar and wants him taken out, but he's admitting that Brutus shouldn't quite be falling for his act, and he doesn't understand how someone could believe him because he isn't quite telling the truth. He also lies to Brutus again when he throws letters through the windows from different people in Rome to try and convince Brutus that this is more of a grassroots movement than it truly is. It's actually a bunch of senators who want to get rid of Caesar, and Cassius is going to make it look like all of Rome is crying for Caesar's downfall. They are not. Now, I do believe that Cassius really does want Caesar gone because he thinks Caesar will be bad for Rome, but there's a very personal bent here as well. Cassius personally feels like Caesar's power is an affront to himself. Of course, Cassius does have a lot of other allies besides Brutus who are on board for reasons that are pretty legit. All of the other conspirators seem to just agree with Cassius. They don't need to be bamboozled with arguments of, oh, everybody in Rome believes this. They believe it themselves, and Cassius didn't need to convince them using underhanded means, which is why when Cassius is defeated at the end of the play, other characters on his team are actually pretty upset about this. He's not just a villain who killed somebody and now must be gotten rid of. Characters, say, like Claudius or Macbeth, who do similar things, getting rid of a king and then becoming a true tyrannical force over their own kingdoms. Cassius isn't like this, and there's a reason why other people can actually be on his side. However, since he does have to lie and make his cause out to be something that it truly isn't, and win Brutus over using methods that are very questionable, turning Brutus from who he truly is, Cassius becomes a villainous presence in this play, more for Brutus than for anyone who he actually wants to take aim at, such as Caesar and Antony. His crimes? Fraud leading to the assassination of a leader and a full-on civil war. His motivation? Jealousy and hatred. Villain number 24 is Cassius. Till tomorrow, I'm Cassius. Think of the world.
Good sinner. Take this paper and look you lay it in the praetor's chair where Brutus may but find it. Throw this in at his window. Set this up with wax upon old Brutus' statue. All this done, repair to Pompey's porch.
I will hie, and so bestow these papers as you bid me.
Do so. Come, Casca. You and I will yet ere day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already. And the man in Tyre upon the next encounter yields him ours.